Hey everyone, I'm just setting up my phone so I could go ahead and see the comments. Let's see here. Good morning and happy Tuesday. Today, I want to talk about how I get my customers to trust and purchase from me. Okay, this has a lot to do with my .com, but you could apply this to any selling platform. Okay, so let me see here. All right, there we are. So, okay, guys. So as you're rolling on in, go ahead and say hey down below so I know you're here. Um, and then we'll get started. So before I get started, could you guys even see how messy my desk is? It's kind of crazy. Um, ever since, and this is just like an update for you guys. Ever since my assistant left, um, I'm obviously doing a lot of her work, mainly sending proofs, following up with customers, all that mishigosh stuff, and it takes a lot out of my day. You obviously know I'm very busy, um, as far as sales are concerned. So sending proofs, doing all that stuff, blah blah, it takes several hours throughout the day, and it can be really time consuming, and it's holding me back a bit. So I literally do it right after I finish live with you guys, but it still takes a lot out, and I'm not sure how productive that is. So I don't know how long I'll last without another assistant, but I do like being single for a while in regards to my assistant. And if you don't know this, I will share this with you. Hey everyone, good morning, good morning. It's it's in a way kind of a relief, and only because it's a lot. It's intense to let somebody back into your home again, back into your life. It's not like I'm hiring 50 employees. I'm hiring one person, and they'll be sitting next to me the whole time. It's quite intense. So I want to make sure that I relax and make a right decision when it comes time to doing so. And I just need a break for a while because, just because I do. Anyway, hey, good morning. I understood what you meant, Teresa. Let me take a sip of my tea before we begin. I'm glad you do, Ellen. Thank you for joining me. So, this Facebook Live comes with an announcement, if you will. I announced this before, but I will announce it again. And here is why. Just because I sell in the six-figure range does not mean I still don't get excited over a sale. That would be silly. I think that would be silly. Yes, some sales I get excited more than others. I know that. But nonetheless, I'm still very much in the same boat. I get excited. I do all this stuff. So I launched my .com several months ago, and even though I'm the SEO queen and you name it, I still I still sometimes have doubt of things when I put it out new. I have doubt of its success. So seeing that it's working is always really reassuring. Anyway, ever since I launched my .com, I would say that I'm getting, and I'm gonna throw a number out there, okay? So whether or not you're impressed, it doesn't matter. I'm impressed because it is a new venture, and to be honest with you, I'm literally so busy since it's been launched, and believe me, I'll be focusing more on it in 2017. But I've been so busy that I have not actually had the time to work on the .com as far as marketing and such. So I know the best is yet to come. So I will say that I safely get around a sale a day, maybe sometimes two on there, and sometimes every other day ish. So it ranges, right? So I could have a sale a day, I could have a couple a day, I could range from not having one for 2 or 3 days. So it varies, right? But I'm very happy with it because it's been bringing in a substantial amount of money um, on its own. There are still some customers, and you guys know this, that will still email me. Um, and depending on their request, I may send them an invoice or I may just direct them to the website. So it's been a learning curve for my customers to go to the website as opposed to just coming directly toward me, it depending on the situation. Good morning. So I'm happy to say that my .com is going well. And I had to think about it because there are some of them that are repeat customers. I could tell by their names easily, and some that are not. And this scope or this Facebook Live is about those people that are not repeat customers. They don't know who I am, what I do, nothing. So I think to myself when I first launched it, how did this person find me? Why did they find me? Did they not want to go to another competitor? I mean, a more well-known one, and I won't say names here. But there's obviously much better, not better, did I just say better? Shame. Much more well-known stationery company. So why did they choose me? Well, I'll tell you a few things. The first thing they have to actually do is fall upon my website. So they actually have to search and then find my website. We know how that works, right? SEO, we get it. But after that, what happens? So, and I want to ask the crowd, because I know you guys know the answer, and I want you sometimes not just to know it, but bring it back to life, understand it, live it, and buy into it, really believe it. So when Sally goes to my website and looks around and is interested in a couple products, what makes her trust me enough to buy? I just came out of nowhere. Like, what makes her want to purchase besides the obvious, the product and etc.? What do you guys think? Let me take a sip of my tea really quick. Tastes good. That's good. Okay. What gets her to trust me? What gets her to, I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't think the customer stands there and goes, do I trust them enough to purchase? I don't think that actually happens. I think it's subconsciously they feel good about their purchase. Does that make sense? So Tanya says descriptions. Tanya says also proving you're an expert. I post instructional videos on social media. Good, good, good. I love this because I'll tell you something. Well, I'll get into it in just a second. As well as one-on-one sessions, providing help to those who need help making most of my products. Awesome. Good morning. The look of your shop, reviews, that builds trust. Absolutely. How professional your site looks, branding. You guys are nailing it, right? Descriptions, looking like an expert. Well, Tanya brings up a good point, and I was not going to talk about this because I didn't think of it, but it's a good point. Expert, looking like you're expert. How do you do that? And of course, there's many, many ways, okay, to look like an expert in your field. And using social media, using your actual website to do so is important. She posts instructional videos, which is really also awesome. Having a blog is really a great way to do that. So they trust you. And everybody else nailed it on the head. How professional your site looks is one of the things I want to talk about today, right? And that has a lot to do with everything you guys are saying. Everything you guys are saying. Photography, descriptions, all to do with the look and professionalism of your shop. Okay? Now, do people that have unprofessional shops get sales? Potentially. But I'll tell you something right now. You know how long it took me to work on my .com? Oh, I'm going to share with you because I know you guys can relate. Regardless if you have opened up your .com or went through anything like this, you understand in general. It took me almost a year. Okay, I didn't work on it, my web designer did. However, because we have to work on it together, I have to provide my products, etc. It took me a while because I was also very, very busy. Now, so it was a collective kind of thing that took us so long. But I wanted it a certain way, so I kept on going back to her and changing it and changing. She was very great to work with. But I knew, even though it was going to take me so long, I knew that I don't have to redo it later. I knew it was the right thing to do. You get it? And now I see the fruits of my labor. I love my site. It looks fantastic. It really does. And I'm not saying you have to use my web designer to get a professional looking site. You can get a professional looking site using Shopify, using Squarespace. You can use many of these things, but it has to be well designed. Okay, so people could trust you that this person knows what they're talking about. It's an impression you leave. My friend told me a long time ago. She also has kids, by the way, a long, long time ago, that when she used to come over my house, she used to judge me because my bookcase was always messy. And I was like, really? You judge me? She's like, yeah. She's like, but now I have Benjamin, which is a little boy, and now I understand. I don't judge you anymore because he's a mess. Because all her other kids were really, really, really well behaved. But she judged me, and she was my best friend, right? So imagine what your customers are doing without you knowing, without them even knowing, So thinking about a professional-looking site is what I want to talk about. What involves that, okay? So One second. Because I know we could talk about SEO and getting them to your website. A lot of people know what SEO is. Gets them to your website after they search. But I'm talking about when they land on your website, how you get them to, how do you get them to trust you, build trust with them, etc. And again, you can apply this to anything, any selling platform. You can apply it to Etsy, Amazon, whatever. For the most part, it just depends. But professional looking site. First thing's photography, right? So how do you make your photography look professional? So let me get a tissue for my nose. Okay. How do you make your photography look professional? How does that happen? I want to hear your ideas on that. I have a few, but I certainly think you guys know the answer. And I want you to say it so I could have you buy into it. You understand it. Because what I find is that when I do shop critiques and things like that, I find that things are not happening, right? And then they look to me for the answer, which is fantastic. But I feel like sometimes we know the answer, okay? Photos are my worst nightmare. They're sometimes a lot of people's worst nightmare. They really are. They can be very difficult to master, okay? And when I put air quotes master, doesn't mean you have to actually master it. It does take a while to really get the hang of things. But just understand that it's lighting. Carissa says lighting, angles, absolutely, right? Another thing is branding, consistency, right? You want to make it look like it's all within one shop, okay? Things of that nature. I know you guys know the answer, but that is it, okay? That is what gets your photos to look professional, okay? You don't have to have a professional take them, but certainly there are a few things that build up to it. Now, we're not going for perfection here. We are going for really good, okay? Because I have redone my photos a couple of times. Even though I think my first photos were pretty good, I had to redo it a few times, okay? I hired a photographer because of you. Sometimes you have to go that way. Sometimes you have to go that right. It depends on what your business plan is, how much you want to make with this company, etc. Maybe you will eventually hire somebody down the road. Maybe this is not your time right now, So just think about that. So that's number one, photos. Number two is the overall look of your site. Now, there's only so much you can control on Etsy, right? Banner, blah. That's it, right? But on your own .com, and again, you can apply this to anything, but I'm just saying on your own .com, you certainly can, control how the whole website looks, how professional it looks, the fonts you use, the design, everything. And of course, I'm a designer, so that helps me a bit. But understanding that, taking the time to make sure it looks like a awesome website is really, really important. I found you through Google search, for example. I don't know anything about you. I like the item, but I'm not in dire need of it. Do I buy it from you? I don't know. But if I saw your website and I felt like I trusted it because it was professional, I feel like a real company's running it, I'd probably buy from you. Okay? Absolutely, Carissa. Make sure they don't look over Photoshop. Now, if you Photoshop your items, that's fine. But sometimes there are certain things you could do to make it look more realistic. And even if you're photo editing, same idea. Okay? So, let's move on. So we talked about photos. We talked about the look of the website. We mentioned descriptions, right? Descriptions. And things that help convert the customer. Descriptions, title, variations. Variation pretty much to drop down menus. Let people choose their options, if you will. Colors, etc., etc. That helps make the customer trust you even more because you're professional. Your website is thorough. You get it? So, and this again applies to Etsy, applies to many other platforms, not just your .com, but just understand that a person needs to understand what they're buying, what it's used for, whatever it is that you're selling, right? And doing it thoroughly is important. This is very timely when we talk about descriptions because I'm redoing the description webinar as we speak. and I believe it'll be done by the end of this week, and then I'll do the launch party next week. So if you're looking to get that, hang tight. It's coming up soon. But people sometimes underestimate how important descriptions are. Besides the fact that they have to read it, it gives you a very professional look. Okay? So that's another thing. Clear policies. Okay? FAQ section. Like, everything is fully filled out, right? Nothing is, half done. Okay? Everything is full. And, when I talk to a few of our members and a few people that are my friends who happen to have online shops, they get so frustrated when they realize how intense a process is to redo a website or launch a website or redo descriptions or, you name it. You name it. And I get it, guys. I'm not just teaching you and telling you and saying, yeah, work on your descriptions while I sit here and drink my tea all day and coach you guys. No, I do the same thing. In fact, it's even worse now because I don't have an assistant with me. My husband doesn't really help with that. He only prints pretty much. But I do it with you, so I understand the struggle. But if I'm going through the struggle and I'm pushing through and I'm completing it, and this is where I am now, then if you want to get to there, you have to do the same. It feels like hell. It feels like hell doing all these things. I'm telling you guys, the process of me launching my .com to make it perfect the way I wanted it to, not perfect, but really good, it caused me many nights of anxiety. It caused me so much headaches, but it was well worth it, okay? We have to go through this. We have to go through these things. When you're redoing your SEO, when you're redoing your description, when you're redoing your photos, it feels like it takes forever, but these important things help the customer trust you. I'm telling you guys, I've been doing really well on my website with not just my repeat customers, that doesn't count right now, with new customers, new people I'm gaining, new people, and I love it. I love every single second of it. Sorry, my nose is probably my allergies. Anyway, so I ask you, whatever you sell on right now, let's just say you only sell on Etsy. Are you, how do I say this? What on that website, Etsy.com, whatever, needs work, right? You don't have to do everything right now. I'm just asking you, needs work in order for the customer to trust you more? How about you list it out? How about you list it out right now or list it out in your mind? You can probably list it off right now. Is it photography? Is it, is it photography? Is it descriptions? Is it, whatever? What is it that you need to do? And everybody could work on something, to be honest. Everybody could work on something. And for me, it is because I'll be working on it in 2017. I have a big plan. Don't you worry. But even me, I have things to work on. And for me, it is my social media presence. Because I've been so busy, and even with an assistant, I was so busy, it's still very challenging, but my focus is shifting on a few different things in 2017, and that will be one of it. So I have things to work on. You certainly do too, okay? To get the customer to trust you. And it's not a thing I'm making up, guys. I think you guys know subconsciously they need to trust you before they purchase from you, unless you're a well-known website. But we're not. Not even me. People do even search for my name. In fact, one of the main ways people are finding me, my .com, through Google search, is typing in my shop name, my business name. And that's how they're finding me. So, I'm well known, but not as well known for people to trust me automatically, okay? Beck says, size charts on every listing. Absolutely, absolutely. I talk about this in my bonus training that I'm coming out with very soon. Very exciting. In my case, collections. Teresa's photography for you. Good, I'm glad you guys are sharing. I know, right, Tanya? I wish Etsy offered videos and listings. That would be kind of cool. Excuse me. Why am I yawning? How rude. Okay. SEO for sure. I have enough something, I don't know what that word is, part of a collection, but photography and descriptions while opening Amazon Handmade in the USA and Spain. Yeah, sometimes we have a lot on our plate to do. You certainly bet that I can. I wish I could show you my desk, but I don't want to move my laptop from where it is. you can obviously see what's going on here. This Coke has been here probably for a couple of days. Again, it's a big challenge for me. Literally, as soon as I'm done here, I go into my businesses and send proofs, send notepads, follow-ups, and things of that nature, which will take me a while because I have quite a few I have to do with the business I bring in. And then and today I'm happen to be going back to upgrading the description webinar. I'm almost done, which is very exciting. I suspect that sometime maybe tomorrow I will start recording it. And if I'm not finished tomorrow, then the day after I'll finish and then upload it to the new platform, which is very exciting, and which will allow you to log in with your own username and password. But that's what I'm working on after that, the whole day. Okay. I need to add a lot more listings, more choices for my customers. Great point, Lorraine. That is a great point, to help people trust you and think you're professional, etc. Maggie, for her, it's photos, finding time to reshoot with my model, my daughter who's busy with school and sports. Yes, I get it. Absolutely get it. Finding time in general to do all these things is quite intense. I happen to be, I wouldn't use the word blessed, but happen to be blessed and work on this full time. And when I put air quotes blessed, meaning I don't have my kids around. One's at school, one's at daycare. So I get to work on it full time. I get to dedicate a lot of time. But sometimes it's intense to dedicate that much time to it. Yesterday I had to cut my lunch short because of how busy we were. Monday was very busy because, the weekend passes by. But it could be very difficult for all of us, some more than others. And you have to find, I definitely would like to talk about this in another Facebook Live, but you have to find ways to get work done, even if it takes longer than me. Let's just say you're comparing yourself to me, which some people do. It might take longer than me, and that's okay, as long as you're getting things done and you're working toward your goal. Hey! Okay, guys, so I just wanted to leave you with that today. I wanted to instill in your mind the trust factor with customers in order for them to want to purchase from you, initially when they don't know nothing about you. Obviously, the things I've mentioned certainly helps, and I want you to consider, and there's probably even more things that help people decide whether they trust you or not. I want you to consider, what is it for you? Write that down. You're not going to work on it tomorrow. Maybe you're not going to work on it in 3 or 4 days from now, but write it down so when you know there's things to work on or slow times, you're not going to be on the forum saying, why is it slow? Why is it slow? You're going to be like, all right, let me work on converting my customers. Let me work on building my trust with them. Let me work on the list I wrote down, right, to get people to trust me. Does that make sense? Carissa makes a good point. Not Etsy, but I know I won't buy if a website is hard to maneuver or it takes too long to load. Yeah, some people have those issues, and if you have those issues, certainly. And I can see how people would be different in that, but that's certainly some reason why people won't even purchase from somebody. Absolutely. Hey, Megan. Hi from Australia. I get so excited when I see your Facebook Live. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Well, I'm about to end, actually, but I wanted to give you a food for thought. Again, you don't have to work on anything right now if you're too busy to work on things like this. I just want you to write it down. How hard is that? Not hard at all. You could literally, as you're talking to me. Okay, what is that piece of paper? Literally everything I have has notes on it. Like everything. I'm a little mess after my assistant left. So I used to have one place where I write down everything. Now it's everywhere. But it works for me. Anyway, I want you to take a piece of paper and write down the things that you feel you need to work on to get the customer to trust you. And it could be on one platform, start with one platform, whether it be a website, whether it be Etsy, whatever. Sometimes it's simple things. Sometimes, like I told you before, it's rearranging your shop, right? So the front of your shop looks professional. It could be all these things, and writing them down will help you, and pin it somewhere, if you will, help you understand the bigger picture. So when you do have time to work on these small things, when business is slower or whatever, then you do so. Okay? That's really, really important. And that is partly the reason why I owe the success to my website. For the new customers that are coming to find me, they're finding me, right? SEO, that's great. But they're convinced to purchase from me for quite a few reasons. And I think I nailed a lot of them. I still have some things to work on, sure. But I nailed a lot of them. And I want to help you do the same. Okay? All right, guys, I am going to catch you later. Again, a very big day for me. I have a lot to do. So wish me luck. I wish I could stay on this call all day with you guys. I don't want to go to work. It's not the redoing of the description webinar. I love that stuff. It's the sending the proofs, all that takes a lot of my time. And while my customers are very, very important to me, you guys know that, it's certainly something that I'm not used to doing anymore. I'm used to my assistant doing. And if I have to hire somebody part-time, I will. I shall see very soon. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe at the end of my workday I send them as opposed to in the morning. Who knows? I'll figure it out soon. But it's quite a struggle. And I don't work by myself by any means, so I can't imagine on what people go through if they're busy, if they work by themselves. I used to work by myself. I remember that. I was literally printing all day, every day. That's what I was doing. That's all I was doing. But my husband's with me, so I'm not working by myself, but he mainly just prints. And there's very little he could help me with. But anyway, I'm just blabbing on now. Just because I need help. I need help soon. Definitely in the new year, I will be hiring somebody. So definitely I'll fill you in when I start to hire somebody and the process. Okay, guys? I will catch you later. Bye.